mastering your poker face when dealing with customers and employees will serve you wonders. So, I've been asked by a couple of subscribers for little top tip for the terrified, those of us that run businesses, what sort of, advice I would give to anyone taking on employees starting a business. And I think, and a bit of a long, hard think about this, but I think your ability to maintain your composure, your ability to take each situation in its stride and not sweat the small stuff. Many years ago, as part of a previous job role that I used to do in the military, I had my section commander who was is a guy I tremendous respect for, a guy called Ken Simpson. And I have to admit, at the tender age of 24, okay, I was not the finished article. I was not, perhaps, arguably, wasn't even a half decent soldier, to be fair. But Ken could see that something was bothering me and wanted to get to the bottom of it. And we were getting ready to deploy overseas to Iraq, etc. And I was extremely worried that either my action or inaction would cause, a member of my team to get hurt or worse, okay? And that was impacting my ability to do my job. Ken, being the wily old soldier that he was, sort of took me to one side, sort of took me under his wing a little bit, as all good NCOs should, and sort of taught me a method of handling stress. So he basically said, if you draw a circle, and inside that circle you place everything that stresses you out, that is within your influence of control. Okay? Things that you can control that stress you out, put them in that circle. And on the outside of that circle are all the other things that stress you out, for which you have absolutely no control. And he just used to, very occasionally, every now and then, would turn around to me, having told me this, would turn around and say, concentrate inside the circle, right? And so what he basically meant was, you only worry about the things that are within your area of control. Everything else is secondary, and it's a complete waste of your time and everybody else's if you worry about things that are outside of your control. That's not to say you should be blind and ignorant to things that can go wrong. Again, things that are outside of your control can and often do go wrong, but it's your ability to think about what you can do to influence the situation or improve your odds. Okay. So Ken I took that to heart, and I've implemented it in my life. I do it every single day in my business. And I just literally worry about the things that I can control. Have an awareness of things that are outside of my control, things that stress me out. But understand that the more I focus on the things that I can control, the more likely that if something I can't control happens, the better equipped I will be to deal with it. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video, talking about your poker face, mastering your poker face. Because if people around you, whether that's your friends, your family, your customers, your employees, if you have them, when they see you, how you behave around them will sort of almost influence how they behave towards you. So if every single time something goes wrong, for example at home with the family, if every time something went wrong at home, I flew off the handle, I lost my shit, every single time something went wrong, I had no control over my stress, I had no bearing whatsoever. The fact that, if every single time something went wrong, I lost my mind, would that make the situation better? or worse. I would argue it would make it 100% worse. Because let's say my daughters, okay, if they feel that they're in trouble, if they feel that if I tell my dad he is going to go absolutely batshit crazy, okay, then what are they going to do? They're not going to tell me anything. So my reaction to previous stresses, okay, has caused them in their head to think, I ain't telling my dad shit, he's going to lose his mind, okay? Which could cause problems further down the line, okay? I'm sure use your imagination, okay? But there's a lot to be said for when you deal with customers. I hear on Facebook a lot of the time people making questions and comments and asking how they would handle things like price rises, how they would handle things like customers' behaviour, i.e. not tidying up after the pets and stuff, leaving dog shit all over the back of their gardens, etc. You know, and there's almost a case of how would you ask the customer to do X? Because the reaction of that customer has a direct impact in your head. And you're thinking of all the things that can go wrong. But if you're thinking about all the things that can go wrong, you're thinking about the wrong things. Instead of thinking about all the things that can go wrong, think about how the situation will improve itself if things go right. Sure, have in the back of your mind a worst case scenario, okay, but don't dwell on the negative. Don't think, oh my God, if I put the price up on this customer, I'll lose them. And it's easy, all right, and I can hear people sort of say, what's all right for you, Chris? You've got employees and all this. Yes, all right, fine, 100% I do, right? But if you think for a moment I've not had those same anxieties, if you think for a moment I have not thought, shit the bed, if I raise the price on this customer, they're going to cancel me and I'm going to lose money. And if you think I haven't gone through that, okay, I've got a bridge I can sell you. You know what I mean? It's every business owner goes through this, whether they want to admit it or not. Every person that's ever started a business, grown a business, had employees, have been where you are now, okay? And, you know, for time immemorial, there will be people just like you having those same thoughts and those same questions about how they handle situations and all this sort of stuff, and their decision-making process around the whole thing. And oh my God, you know, of course, they absolutely will do. But it got me thinking. One of the young lads on there was talking about how he should put the prices up on his customers in the most friendly way possible, type thing. In other words, the guy's clearly wants to avoid confrontation. But if you're so worried about that confrontation, right, it's clear that when that confrontation comes, you're automatically on the back foot. You're worried about their reaction. You're worried about X and all this sort of stuff. You're worried about them losing them as a customer. You're worried about how they'll react to you. You're worried about that negative interaction. You're worried. Bottom line is, you're not in a position where it's like, you know, you're not. If the customer can see that clearly is stressing you out and that you're so worried and, oh my God, I'm really sorry, I've got to raise the price, and oh my God, like that sort of thing, you're almost going cap in hand to the customer, going, you know, Oliver Twist fashion, please sir, can I have some more? And you give the initiative over to the customer, because the thing is, if the customer thinks that they can get one over on you and get a better deal because of your lack of confidence, they absolutely will capitalize on that, okay? But on the flip side of that, if you can contain your emotion, if you can contain your stress, again, worry about the things you can control, right? If you do all of that, if you can keep a poker face and just say, you know, something along the lines of, just to let you know, the price this time is X. From next time, the price is having to go up to this, okay? I'll see you next time. There's almost an assumption, I'll see you next time, okay? You're not worried, or at least you're not appearing to be worried. You're not stressing yourself out. You're not going, oh my God, please pay me more, sort of thing, you know? You are literally stating a fact. Okay? Then by all means, having stated that fact, had that interaction, walk off to your vehicle and drive off to the next job. And if you feel the need to pull over and have a cry, fine, pull over and have a cry. But do not let the customer see you are having these anxieties and having all this stress. Because here's the thing, they don't give a shit. They don't care. They want what's best for them. And what's best for them is for them to keep lowballing you and giving, making sure you don't raise your prices and all this sort of stuff. They don't give a shit. Okay, so just state a fact that from next time the price, the price this time will be X. From next time the price will be Y. Okay, I'll see you next time. Okay, and just go, right? And then it's almost like you stating a fact it is what it is, and the customer has got two choices. They can either accept it and say, yeah, cheers, Chris, no worries, yeah, we'll sort that out for you next time, or they can turn around and say, actually, Chris, I'm gonna have to call it a day, mate. It's becoming too much. It's too expensive, and blah blah. But if you do lose that customer, at all times, remain professional, keep your emotions in check, maintain your poker face and say, oh, okay, no dramas. Well, thanks for your custom so far. If you change your mind, you know where I am, and go. And by all means, feel free to leave, get in your vehicle, and if need be, drive around the corner and have a good sob and a good cry about it. That's fine, but do not get into a shouting match with the customer. Do not lose your shit. Do not let them see you're upset. Do not let them see that you're happy that they've accepted the price rise. It's, just keep your emotions in check. Keep the stress levels down, at least in public, okay? By all means, if something goes wrong, go around the corner and fully go to town. Lose your shit. Happy days, fireworks and all. Fine. Don't do that in front of the customer. Maintain your composure. Because if they can see you lack composure, if you lack composure, you lack confidence. If you lack confidence, you're a pushover. If you're a pushover, they'll get their way. But if you can maintain that composure, that zen, yeah? If you can maintain that and just state a fact, this is happening, okay? And just go about your day. And yeah, sure, you might lose a handful of customers, but most people, understand that there are price rises. They see every day that stuff is going up in the shops. They see that the fuel bill is going up. They see that the food bill is going up. They see that the gas bill is going up. They see that, inflation is kicking the crap out of everybody. Cool, fine. The reality is, if you're talking about raising the price by a couple of quid, right, fine. It's perspective. If they can't or won't stomach the cost of the equivalent price of a cup of coffee, they ain't worth keeping anyway. So don't, you'll find other customers. But it's maintain that composure, maintain that professionalism, and you will win. It's as simple as that. Your ability to handle stress will determine your success. There are things that, another thing as well with working with employees, if they see that I lose my shit when one of the lads breaks something, I go, what the fucking hell, and lose my rag, that I'm almost instilling an environment of fear into the lads. So when something goes wrong, no one wants to tell me. That's a problem, because if something goes wrong, I need to know. Now, here's the thing. It's big boys' rules. If something has gone wrong and it's your fault, you need to man up and sort of say, right, well, actually, Chris, fair one, mate. It's gone to tits. It's all my fault. I'm really, really sorry. And he'd be like, I might be annoyed, and I might even turn around and go, right, okay, let's just get it fixed. Let's get it squared, right? And have that conversation one-on-one with them later. Fine, but the bottom line is that if you react like that, people are more likely to volunteer bad news or information that you might even need to know. The second if you create an environment with your employees of almost being on their side, yeah, they'll come to you. They'll work with you hand over fist, and you'll create a working environment which you'll enjoy, they'll enjoy, and the customer reaps the benefit. Everyone's a winner, right? If every time I get a complaint from an employee, from a customer about something that an employee has done, why they've not cleaned a window right or whatever, my immediate instinct isn't to turn around and say, Joe, about the window cleaner, oh, John, you're a complete and utter idiot, get back there and square it away. You know, you just turn around and say, all right, John, what happened with this job here today? Customers complained. They said there's a mark on window. Can you go back and put that right? And he'll be like, right, sorry about that, but I'll square it. And he'll be off the next day. The next day he'll go back. That'll be his first job. He'll make his apologies to the customer. We move on with our lives. It's window cleaning. It ain't brain surgery. No one will die. Yeah? What's the point in losing your shit over little things like that? You might as well just simply address it, learn from it, we move on. That's it. Okay? But I thought that might be an insightful video for some. I hope you get the most out of the content that I put out. If you're still watching the video at this point, thank you for enduring to the end of the video. Please consider subscribing and giving us a like. Maybe even give us a wise-ass comment in the comment section. You never know what comes back. Keep on keeping on, boys and girls. See you in the next video. Peace.